So now that my asparagus is trimmed and ready, what I want to do is take my 1 teaspoon of olive oil. I've already pre-measured mine, and I'm going to take my baking sheet and drip olive oil all over the floor. That'll be great. So I'm going to drizzle it over the pan. I have gloves on. I'm in a commercial kitchen, so that's necessary. But I also like to cook with gloves because then you can get your hands really messy, and then who wants to get oil off? That would take forever. So I'm going to use my gloved hand and just smear around the olive oil. We're going to coat the asparagus in it, so we'll just leave that. I'm going to take my spears, put them on the pan, spread them out a little bit. We're going to get them nice and tossed into the olive oil. So I'm literally just going to move them around. I'm going to hold this up so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to move them around. Thank you for enjoying my filming today, because this is the first time I filmed myself. So you're my test audience, so I appreciate it. So my asparagus is nice coated right now. I'm going to remove these gloves because they are oily. Toss those to the side. So then we want to take 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt and 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. I've pre-measured. I'm just going to sprinkle them lightly over the top of the asparagus. I'm going to sprinkle my salt. If you don't like to use salt, that's fine. You can omit it. It's just for flavor. I'm using tongs now, and I'm going to lightly toss everything to get it blended. And then what you're going to do is put them into your hot oven. So I'm going to take my nice tray of asparagus, put them in the oven, close my oven. So those are what I would consider medium-sized spears. So for those, we're going to toast for about 11 to 13 minutes. So we'll be right back. Welcome back. We're going to make our final recipe with you today, a fresh spinach strawberry salad. Build us the best spinach strawberry salad with balsamic poppy seed dressing, pecans, feta cheese, which we ran out of, so we're not going to add that today. It's beautiful, healthy, and always a crowd pleaser. So what will we need for our spinach strawberry salad? So for the salad itself, we're going to need 3/4 cup of raw pecans. If you have a nut allergy, obviously don't use the nuts. Half a small red onion, very thinly sliced. I would have that. Don't know that I'll put that in my salad because I'm not an onion fan. 10 ounces of fresh baby spinach. You could use other greens, but this is great with spinach. 1 quart of strawberries, hulled and quartered, that we've talked about before. 3/4 cup of the crumbled feta cheese. We'll get to the dressing ingredients in 1 second, but what I've got is a big salad bowl with half of the spinach. So Lydia, I'm going to actually get you to add the other bowl of spinach to the big bowl. So Lydia is going to take and dump the spinach. It's a lot of spinach, but once you dress it, it will kind of get smaller. Thank you, ma'am. We'll move that. So, to your salad, Lydia, you want to add Lydia so nicely quartered these. You're going to dump those on top of your salad. Just going to add them in. Make sure you got them all. Okay, I'll take that bowl. So, we already toasted the pecans. You can toast these in the oven. You could toast them in just like a saute pan on top. I actually just sauteed them, dry skillet, toasted them for maybe, I think it says about 8 to 10 minutes. They just get a little darker and they'll add a nice little crunch to the salad. You can chop them up. I'm using pecan halves. We're just gonna dump them in wholes. If you wanna add the nuts to the top of that. Thank you, ma'am. We're gonna toss all this up when we're done. So I'll take your dirty dish, and this basically is how much pecans you're using. I measured these out earlier. So on to the dressing, and again, I chopped up, thinly sliced the red onion. Not sure that I'm going to add this, but we'll leave it on the side, so if anybody that's enjoying this with me wants the onions, they can have them. For the poppy seed dressing, we're going to get you a little bowl here, and we're going to need a little spoon so you can get some of this stuff out. Okay, so we've already measured everything out, but what we're going to do is add 1/4 cup of balsamic vinegar. Add that to the bowl. Thank you, ma'am. So you're now going to add 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. So you're going to add your olive oil. Would you eat this salad? No, I didn't think so. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of poppy seeds. This is where it gets messy, Lydia. 1½ tablespoons of honey, so I'm going to let you try to pour it, but there's a spoon. Get all the good honey out of there. Looks pretty good. So So I'll take your icky honey thing. Keep your spoon because you're gonna have to get your Dijon mustard out. So take your mustard. You like mustard? Okay. So you could also, instead of whisking it in a little bowl, which we're gonna do, you could put it in like a mason jar with a tight lid or a plastic, container of some type with the lid and shake it. We're doing it this way. So I'll take your spoon. I'm here for the dirty dishes. So add your half a teaspoon of salt and your 1/8 of a teaspoon of black pepper. So are you now in charge and I'm the assistant? Yes. Okay. So here's your whisk. If you move closer so you can just give it a nice, we want to start slow because you don't want to get dressing all over you. But you're just going to combine it so you can still see big clumps of mustard so she knows to keep stirring. So basically, once you prepare the dressing, what you want to do is add about half of it to the salad because you can't take extra off of the greens, but you can always add more. So you just want everything coated. So once Lydia has it stirred, I'm going to add about half and then we're going to toss it. You want your spinach leaves to be nicely moistened, but not swimming in dressing. And again, a little bit goes a long way. And you can actually keep this in an airtight container. I'm going to take your whisk and just check. This is expertly stirred up here. So now we're going to take the salad. So would you rather use tongs or your hands? Tongs. She doesn't want to touch the spinach. Okay, so we were going to toss this a little bit, kind of combine it before we put the dressing. Just going in with our hands. So basically lightly just kind of move it around. Go for it. The object is to keep it in the bowl.
Yeah.
Right. Because we're not going to serve all of this today, what I'm going to do is actually take some out so we can just put a little bit on. Oh, escaping spinach. Okay, nicely done. So I'm going to take a couple handfuls to make sure I get the strawberries and pecans and some spinach. Hey, you only got one piece of spinach on the floor. That's pretty good. So I'm going to pour a little bit of the dressing, move it to the side. Now we're going to go in with the tongs. Do you want to do it? Go for it. So again, you're just lightly coating the leaves. And this is actually a really refreshing salad. And I'm telling you, put a little warm grilled chicken on this. You will be wanting to make this. Other people have told me add some, like a can of mandarin orange segments or some craisins or something like that just to give it a little more sweetness. But man, this salad is definitely a recipe to keep in your spring and summer repertoire. So thank you for your tongs. And I'm going to actually get you now, we're going to get this fancy serving dish. And you hold the tongs because I might need you to do that. We're going to dump it in here just so we can, actually we don't need the tongs now. So this is your salad. And you can get fancy. Lydia, I'm going to get you to take this strawberry and just kind of make a couple cuts. Don't cut the greens off. We're going to use that as decoration. So take your knife. Let me show you how. So we're going to cut it in half, but don't go all the way down. I'll do this one and you can do another one. And this makes thin little slices. So we're going to kind of make it like a little decorative, kind of almost like a flower, okay? So I'll do mine, give you that's a decent one. And then I'll show you what to do with it when you've done that part. So we're just going to fan it out like this and just do a little presentation on top here. So Lydia's learning something new today, so now she can get decorative when she's eating all these strawberries by herself. Right, good job. So then you're going to take it and just kind of like push out the pieces like see, isn't that pretty? Okay, put it on top of the salad. You hold up one side and I'll hold up the other. And this is our fresh spinach strawberry salad. So welcome back again. Let me show you the finished products. You've seen the asparagus, but you didn't see the final of the roasted radishes. So these are nice and brown and crispy, ready to be served. Sorry, again, technical difficulties. But thank you for joining me today. This has been a pleasure. I hope you learned something. I hope you'll try something new. If you do, let me know. on the email. You should all have my contact information, but shoot me an email. I want to know what you thought. If you'd like to try a different recipe or share one of yours with me. So thanks again. Look forward to it. Bye.